So let's turn the camera around. We'll get a look at this lake. We're going under this thing we just climbed out. And you can already see it. There's some water out there. It's a pretty dry year actually for the amount of rain we're getting. But we still have these beautiful verdant green fields. Like, look at this. This is the sort of green you get when you're painting a house or something. I don't know if my camera can even register how bright this green is. It's gorgeous out here. It's definitely not catching all the spider webs in the air. A lot of spiders, their babies will spin little webs of silk, and it's very deep plants here. Because the spiderlings, the baby spiders, weigh so little, they actually float. Those webs of silk go out like a string of silk, a strand, goes out behind them like a kite and lifts them up in the air and carries them far away from their parents so that they don't compete with their parents and they have their own place to sort of start living their life. And there are little strings of spiders flying through the air right now. You can't see them on the camera because they're very, very narrow. Anyway, I'm going to start walking out to this lake. So I've moved to a better part of the trail, and let's get out to the lake from here. There's some really cool plants. I don't know if these are edible or not. They sort of look like collard greens or something. I don't even know. Hopefully you can see everything with the sun. My sunglasses sort of block it all out, but they're just big tussocks of this bright green grass all over the place. And out there on the water, there should be a few alligators. Last time I was out here, I saw at least 2. But our goal at the moment is to retrieve that little hiking stick I got. I bought it for $1 at a weird store. I left it out on the lake, sort of like a Excalibur out in the middle of the lake, the one that King Arthur has to pull out to become king. I'm going to see if I can pull that hiking stick out of the middle of this lake where I left it. I was going to walk across the lake, but there are definitely gators there, so that part of my plan may have to not happen today. We will see. If I don't see any gators, I may be tempted to walk across to one of the islands in the lake. This is such a weird ecosystem. The grass, this is the thickest grass I've ever seen, I think. Just because this whole area, look at this, there are old bottles down here. Whole area used to be underwater. So all this stuff out here was buried under the floodplains. And now it's very rich, nice soil from all the decomposition that's happened. Out there, that's the sort of lowest part of the lake. Some birds out there. Probably the ground gets very muddy the closer you get. So, I mean, even here, I'm almost up to my knees in grass. It's verdant. That's the only word I could think of for it. So all these dead stick-like plants, like canes or something, and if you smack them, they just snap at the best sound. It is very fun to be out here. And as I walk through this wonderful sounding area of sort of dead canes and flowers, I come across a boat, or at least the upside down hull of a boat. So, or not a ship, definitely a boat. I don't know all my nautical terms. I think a ship's the big one. Some sort of rowboat out here. I'm going to see if I can flip it over, maybe have a look at it. This is how it looks out here. It's just this huge area of, over there is all the canes we were walking through earlier, the very snappy sounding ones. There's some islands out here in the water, very nice trees, and this boat, which, if we walk on it, I mean, sounds just fine while I walk on it. I guess it has dirt directly under it. Make sure I shove the camera in there. It'll fit. I don't know what you're seeing in there, but that's the inside of the boat. All right, so I guess I could try pulling apart this boat. I don't know if, I don't really want to break it. And it definitely goes all the way down there. So I could go down to where it is here, try to get my hand under it and pull it up. If that's, oh, why's my camera zoomed in? There you go. Try to get my hand under and pull it up if that's possible. No, it's just pulling up a little smidge of the boat here. And under it, there's nothing but dirt. So it seems that this boat has flipped over at some point and it's just dirt directly under it. Makes a fun sound when you walk on it, but this is just dirt under the boat. Like a little sort of feasting place for the worms, I guess. So let's keep going. There's plenty more out here. I mean, not too many structures, but lots of natural splendor, you know? Look at this. How many times do you see a lake that is so infrequently visited? The owner of this property has left it open to everyone, but this is a pretty isolated neighborhood. So not many people come out here just to hike to this sort of hidden in the middle of nowhere lake, which is nice. There is barely any trash out here except for very old bottles that may be older than me. I have no idea. They may have been here for a very long time. But out there, my friends are giving me a challenge actually, my friends who live near here. They say I should go out to that island, which I could zoom in on now. Go out to that island and camp on it for a night. Which I gave them an emphatic answer of, no, there are alligators in this lake. I do not want to walk out to the island, but now that I am by myself, making my own video, you know how it is. When you're by yourself, you really figure out what kind of person you are. In my case, I figure out I'm sort of a complete idiot, because when I say, no, I don't want to do that, that's dangerous. And by myself, I say, guess I need to do it then. Can't be a wimp. So I'm not camping in this video, but I'm going to walk out to that island if I see no alligators on the way. And I will I will see what I can find out there. There's not going to be anything out there, but hopefully I could just walk through the lake to it. It looks like there is shallow water on the way. It looks like some other people have walked here. This may even be our footprints out here. Or more likely someone has been walking a dog out here or something. See this? Oh, there's a very large bird footprints here too. Look at that, some sort of heron. I'm going to turn the camera actually so you can see more of these prints. I was mistaken actually. I said there are people out here. These look like deer footprints. They have those two-pronged hooves. And it looks like there's several lines of deer footprints going out. So deer are coming out here to drink the water. There's raccoon footprints with the 5 toes. There are very large bird footprints with a big foot. And now they're going to be my footprints over all of them. My sort of ugly shoe prints. But we're walking out on some very mushy ground, trying to get ourselves over this island. That island over there. This is all attached to the mainland. And this may be the point where I take my shoes off actually and go barefoot, because as much as I like adding shoe prints to all these cool animal tracks, I don't want to rip the straps off my shoes. If you go down in the mud far enough and pull your foot up, the mud is stronger in that strap. So let's change our attire and keep walking. Ooh, the feeling of bare feet on mud is not an incredibly good feeling, but it sort of feels like stepping on Play-Doh. It's not a completely bad feeling. It just feels a bit squishy and wet. But here I am. There are definitely deer prints out here. So deer are coming out here to drink this water. It's beautiful out here. Look at all those birds. I'm surprised that there aren't more bird watchers coming out to this isolated sort of woodland lake, because it is just pure blue water. Good for fishing, good for birding, probably good for gators. Ow! And good for stepping on concealed spiky bits of cane. So I'm just going to walk along this edge of the island, leave a big deep footprints in the sand, and go across that little watery bit there, and hopefully not get attacked by a gator. I don't know how deep it is there, but I will have to use my best judgment to get across here. I'm hoping it's not deep. While I'm out here, it looks like worms. Yeah, it says soft baits. So some sort of worm or bait. People are fishing out here, and I couldn't think of a better spot for it actually. All right, folks. So I know there are gators out here, but enough pussyfooting around. Time to go out in the water and see how deep it is out here. So far, so good. It's not too deep. I haven't stepped on any alligators yet, but I still have plenty of time to do so because the water is up to my knees. And I'm not even halfway across. And as I say that, I'm going to get out and leave my ID and stuff, my eye drops, my condom on the banks. I hope I didn't just show my ID there. And I'm going to roll my pants really high up first before I walk across, because I got to change of pants, but I'd rather not have to use them. Actually, I'm just going to take my butt cheeks out completely. Hopefully a gator doesn't take a bite out of my butt cheeks. Deer are coming out here, so I should be safe. If a deer is safe to be at the water, I should be able to walk across this little bit. Whew. Ow. It's pretty deep here. I'm actually up to my chest almost in the water in this gator-infested lake. But I am a Florida man. I could do it. I would not, I can't show my pants right now. They're all the way up to my crotch. I would not recommend doing it. I'm out, by the way. All right, I mean, a 10, 15 second walk across the water isn't too bad. I would not walk across that bit of water because there are definitely alligators out here. Do not try this at home, kids and adults. But here we are on a really beautiful island. There's a crazy tree out there. It looks like one of those dragon blood trees that you find in Jordan or wherever. Doesn't look like stuff you find in America, really. I have somewhere down here, I have stepped on a stink bug because I smell that horrible chemical smell. And it's just out here with wildflowers and water and alligators somewhere. There's birds all the way out there, if you can see that. A little wading bird, like an ibis. And it's just absolutely gorgeous out here. You can still hear cars way in the distance, but it's not like in a city. There's not too many of them. So the thing with islands is, of course, you need to get back to the mainland because there's not much to do on an island. So I'm just sort of here with my legs out, and I'm going to walk back across now. Hopefully, second time is also a charm, and I can roll my shirt up, not get too wet, and not get bitten by anything. Alligator, snake, whatever it is. Ow! I've not been bitten. I've stepped on a sharp stick. That's all. I could get across here just fine, I think. Whew. It feels nice to be in the water, actually. It feels really nice to be in the water. All right, and disaster averted. I have showed way too much skin, but otherwise, nothing bad has happened out here. And it's time to sort of walk out to that other island, or the other spit of land out there, because I left a hiking stick out there I want to retrieve. Or it's possible I left it on this one and someone has taken it. Definitely someone has come out to fish and left their bait pack since I was last here. So actually they left their bait pack. There's just plastic in here. They might have taken that hiking stick as a souvenir, which I left it for. If they did, good for them. But I'm still going to check over there for it, just in case I left it there. Hard to remember the scenery inside the lake with the water level changing. All right, folks, I've walked onto this other peninsula. Out across the way, you can sort of see where I was before. Lots of birds on that island now. And I'm walking through this tall grass to see if I can find the hiking stick I left out here. Not sure I can, not sure it's still here, but it's worth looking. And let me turn the camera. It's a beautiful view. That's just where I came from. We have these weird scraggly trees. Still alive, it looks like. I don't know what kind of tree it is even. And we're walking through tall grass. Very beautiful grass. It's like sort of green pieces of wheat. And out onto the peninsula where, look out here. This is country, boys. It's beautiful out here. I can't imagine living in a place where you don't have access to nature at all. Like living in the middle of a city, for example, where you couldn't just, go out on one day and go out to a place like this by yourself, away from other people, just to enjoy life as God intended it, whatever your religious views are. And I found that my hiking stick, per se, is still here. My beautiful $1 hiking stick that sort of looks like a Pimp cane. And here it is. Amazing. This is the coolest thing I found. It was $1. It makes a very good hiking staff and looks like I'm a pimp. And now that I'm actually out here and I have it, aside from knocking over a few of these canes with it, which is very fun, I may actually just leave this out here for our next person. I said it in a few videos, I like video games. Not just playing them, but the idea of them, because nature is more interactive in them. You get rewards for going out and doing stuff. A lot of people play the game called Pokemon Go. I have a friend who does it. I've never done it, never played any Pokemon games. But the reason why Pokemon Go is so popular is it made people do what they love to do naturally, which is to walk, but gave them a reason to do it. They wouldn't just be walking, they'd be walking and finding stuff. They'd be catching Pokemon and making a collection. They'd be getting tangible rewards for doing something they really want to do anyway, deep down in their soul. So I'm going to leave this thing out here. And maybe one day someone will be walking out here, maybe some parents with kids, and they'll find this. They'll be like, wow, I've just pulled the sword out of the stone, or the pimp cane out of the mud, as it were. So this will remain out here for the next hikers to pick up and enjoy. It looks pretty good out here. Sort of fits in with the canes, but if you get close enough, you see this weird sort of gem-shaped head on it. I like it. Anyway, folks, I think this is more or less the end of the line, or the end of the lake. I'm going to loop my way back around through the trees to get my way away from here and back home. There should be a field right through these trees, and on the other side of the field is the road. And oh, yeah, I think that's a fishing rod package. It could be a rifle, but it's almost certainly a fishing rod out here. So let's get away from this lake, beautiful lake, and into the woods where we'll find our way back home. And oh, that is a shoe print that is not my own. So there are definitely other people out here fishing and doing whatever other activities they do. As I step into the woods, actually, I've seen something in the distance, which I want to check out before I sign off. There's looks like fabric. It looks like a golfing bag full of clubs. I don't know if you can see that there. Oh, might be a sleeping bag. I'm going to turn the camera and we'll have a look at it together. Now, it's right up here and it looks like a sleeping bag, honestly. Yeah, that is definitely a very old sleeping bag and a jacket. So I guess if I was homeless, that would be a great find, but I'm not. I actually don't want to touch those again because they're dirty looking. So, oh, there's more stuff. There's more artifacts in the woods. I love finding evidence that people were here. Not gross evidence like bottles and cans, but evidence like this thing, whatever it is, this sort of weird container looking thing. Let's see what's inside here. Now, I need to be careful. Those are thorns. But let's pull this thing up. You got some weird roots growing under there. And I do need to be careful because there are some wasps inside here. That's what's in here. Let's leave these little guys alone. Actually, I'm going to close the box on them. And we'll make our way into this field, which is full of sourweed at the moment. Anyway, folks, I've had a fun time exploring that lake, but it's time for me to go. So peace out, stay safe, and I will see you all next time.